was like one room and then like a lunchroom on the other side of it. I can't remember of any other school being here under any other name. I cannot remember that, if it ever was one. I've never known the black school to be called like Cooper High School or something like that. It's always been Booker T. Washington as far as I can remember. And as far as my parents that went to the same school that I did, it was the same for them.
Now, when you were young, in first, second, third grade, how did you get to school?
We walked. Just like I said, we lived on this little section called Red Road, so we walked to school every day. And I would say this was probably like I'd say probably like a fourth of a mile. We would walk to and from school every day. There was no buses and nothing like that for us. No sirree, there wasn't.
Did you ever ride your bicycle after you got your bicycle?
No, because once we had moved into our home, the school was just across the railroad tracks from us, so it was only like a hop, skip, and jump for me to just hit the railroad track, and I'm for maybe a couple hundred feet, and I was at school. So no, I never rode my bicycle to school.
Did you have a favorite subject in school?
Well, yeah, one of my favorite subjects was geography. I was always interested in geography as a favorite subject, and I was pretty smart in school, but you know, I just didn't finish college. But I was the books and things that we had when we were children, they were hand-me-down books. It wasn't like government issued from you know, like we got the books that the white people had used. This was our source of learning. Because you go to say, well, I was in the 4th grade this year, now the next year I'm in the 5th grade, and I'd get my 5th grade books, and there would be names of all these white children. This book was issued to so-and-so and so-and-so in 19 so-and-so and so, and you know, and they were hand-me-down books. Never got new books. We never got new books.
Did you ever discuss that with other children or parents and say?
Well, it was talked about, but there was nothing ever done about it. You know, we would say, look at here's these hand-me-down books. Well, these children from the white school has already, you know, had these books and things. Well, no, we didn't discuss it like with our parents, and we probably were maybe like too young, and plus we didn't know the difference then. We did not know the difference. We just thought a book is a book is a book. It's just that simple.
Did any of your teachers talk about black history and famous blacks, Americans?
Really during my era of school and things like that, there were, even in the history books, there was no just big abundance of black people that was in, maybe like Booker T. Washington, and maybe like, if I can remember, George Washington Carver, or something like that. And that was it. It was, you know, and I'm quite sure later on in life they added people like Thurgood Marshall to the history books and different other, you know, black Americans and stuff like that. But no, not as a child for me, no.
Did you develop some aspirations while you were in school as to what you'd want to do once you graduated from high school here?
Well, yes, my desire was always that I had wanted always to be like a stenographer. That was my main goal. And so when I went to college and stuff, you know, we didn't have in our school, we didn't have things like typing and things like that. So when I went to college, we didn't have typing, shorthand and things like that, bookkeeping, things like that, we did not have. So when it was very hard for me in college, very, very hard, because I had to start from day one. But during the course of my time, I could take dictation, shorthand dictation, maybe like 120 words per minute. That was shorthand. I was a very good typist. I can't remember my ratio of how many words I could type probably maybe, I wasn't the world's fastest typist because it seemed like my hands never would fluctuate that good on the typewriter, but I typed very fast, but not as fast as you really, a good typist can type and things like that.
It sounds like the school here didn't really have some of the equipment and things that maybe probably the white school had.
Absolutely.
And so they couldn't teach some of those courses.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have a friend that lives in Dallas, and when he left from here and he talked about how hard it was and how hard it was from him, and he was retired, I believe he was retired from Howard Hughes aircrafts out in California, and he literally had to go back to school to get some more learning and stuff like that, to get the type of jobs and stuff that he wanted to qualify. So he had to really go back to school. And we always, when we would get together later on in life, we talked about how hard it was for blacks here to you know, to learn, not so much as learn, we just didn't have the material to work with as children growing up. We didn't have that. We didn't have that type of material.
What was the school year like?
Like
September to
September to May, or some, what it was like. Well, in the first place, let me see, it was always usually in October before we went to, well, school would start. School would start maybe in late September. But as a child, and as for most blacks here, we had to stay out of school to pick cotton, to supplement our family's incomes and stuff like that. So we usually never got back to school until around October, maybe say the second week in October or something like that to go to school. You were very fortunate if you was a black child here and didn't have to stay out of school those few weeks to help gather the crops. But they allowed that here. They allowed that here in Cooper so that we could help the children and their parents and things could help this county gather their crops. Now the white school went on and stuff, I can't remember, maybe there was, because there were poor white people here just like there were blacks here. You know, I mean, end of conversation. It was just, you know, poor here too, just like anybody else. But we had to stay out of school to work, to help ends meet through the winter months, and to buy school clothing, school shoes, and things like